Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I wanted to speak a little bit about throwing in the towel. And I know that may seem kind of like a weird subject to talk about. And I've probably covered something similar to this in an earlier podcast episode, but it's worth bringing up every so often, I should say. Throwing in the towel is just not an option when it comes to striving for your goals. You can put things to the side for a while and circle back to it, but throwing in the towel is not an option. When you give up, especially when you haven't even really tried, I see so many people, they do this with friendships, with relationships, with jobs, opportunities. They throw in the towel before they even really try, or they give a lackluster effort, a half, they halfway try, and then they give up. And a lot of it, I feel, is because they're afraid to fail. What if I fail? What if you succeed? Why is it that we're always rocking in the negative? Why can't we be in the positive? My dad always used to say that all the time. He was like, oh, people living in the negative. And I used to think to myself, like, why does this man always mention this? And I tell you, it's amazing the things that you recall for people that have, since passed on, and you remember the way that they used to say things or phrases that they would always adhere to. And that was one of the things. You have to stop living in the negative. He always used to say that, and it used to annoy us, I'll be very honest. And now I understand. It's like, why would you give up before you even try? Why would you throw in the towel before you even give it a good go? People just automatically think, well, I'm not going to be able to do it because I just know I won't be. You don't know that until you try. At least if you try and you fail, then you would have learned something new. Stop throwing in the towel because you think you're too old to accomplish a goal. Stop throwing in the towel because you think that, oh, I fell off the wagon, I can't get back on. Stop doing that. It's very discouraging. And I'm going to say this too to my black and brown folks. We a lot of times will throw in the towel on something because of who we are. Well, they're not going to approve me anyway. Or they're not going to see it this way because I'm black. They're not going to see it this way because I'm Latino or whatever. So many times we do that. Or even my Asian folks. We see this all the time. At least try, because you know what? If somebody's going to turn me down because I'm black, because I'm a woman, you're going to do that to my face. I'm not going to keep myself from going after something because of what I think you might do. And very well may do. Turn me down because you don't think I'm qualified because I'm a woman. Turn me down because you don't think I'm qualified because I'm black. Or you don't think that I have what it takes. Whatever the reason, you're going to have to turn me down to my face. Because I'm going to go after every single goal that I have. And I want people around me who also rock that way as well. If you're not going after your goals, if you're constantly in this negative mindset, if you're constantly like, oh, I don't know if I can do it, and you're constantly doubting yourself, I don't want that energy around me. And I know that sounds harsh. And I know that sounds like, oh, that's like a sucker punch. No, it's not. Because truthfully, you are the sum of the closest people that you have around you all the time. So if you got a bunch of doubting Thomases around you, if you got a bunch of negative Nancys around you, that is what you will start to absorb and become. You have to move different if you want different. And a lot of people like where they are. And you know what? That's fine. If that's what works for you, that is fine. But staying in the same place and never moving and always doing the familiar does not work for me. And I need people around me who are movers and shakers, who want to move, who want to do something different, who want a different outcome, who want to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. I don't need the negativity around me. I don't want it. That sort of stuff doesn't fly for me anymore. And sometimes we keep certain people around because, well, that's my so-and-so, or that's my sister, or that's my brother, or that's my mom, or that's my dad, my uncle, my best friend. And they will understand. Like I said, it's not about cutting people out of your life. It's about placing them in spaces in your life where they need to be. And some folks don't need to have front row seats. Some people need to step to the side. Because you will keep so much negativity around you that you never get off the ground. You never fly. So I don't want to keep the negative around me. I'm always going to try to encourage people to get them out of that negative space. I'm always going to try to support people and all of that. But at the same time, if it is a repetitive thing where it's constant negativity, constant just, always down, now I have to make decisions. Now I have to say, okay, is this a seasonal situation or is this a forever situation? Because some situations, even people are seasonal. They're not meant for the whole ride. But if you got good people around you who look out for you, and this is another thing too, if people are always looking out for you and being like, look, here's the pitfall that's coming. Here's the thing that's coming. I'm looking out for you. Hey, watch out for this. Watch out for that. Anybody who is going to point out things to you, it's because they care. And they want to make sure that you're on point. They want to make sure that you're presenting yourself well. And I will tell you this, as a brand manager, sometimes my clients don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear me pointing out something or something that's coming down the road. I point it out because I want them to be prepared. I point it out because I want their brand to be successful. I point it out because I care about how their brand moves in the market. And 9 times out of 10, I've probably been there, done that, down that road some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to let you know about it. That way you're better prepared so that when opportunities come, you are ready to fly. And people we have to be more receptive to when, I don't even know what's the best way to say it, to when people have opposition. Opposition is not always hating. And when I say opposition, I don't mean it from a hating perspective. I'm saying that giving another side. Okay, here's the counter side to this. Here's the flip side to this. What are you going to do if XYZ happens? Let's have a contingency plan. Now, you're not always going to have a contingency plan, but if you can, have one. Make sure that you have your business plan. Your business plan, I've said this many times, your business plan. Don't have a business plan from 2008 and think that that's going to work in 2022. You need to pivot. Your business plan is a guide. a guide that you constantly update, sometimes a couple times a year. I update my business plan. I will say this, I update my business plan at least once a year, sometimes twice a year. But I have one part of the year that I always go through my business plan and change things around, rearrange. The goal stays the same, but the path to get there may be a little different. You may have to pivot. That word we have heard all throughout this pandemic. Businesses have had to pivot just to stay afloat. So pay attention. Pay attention to the negative spaces. Pay attention to the holes that are around you and start plugging them up. It's like a boat that gets those little holes and the water starts seeping in. Start plugging up those holes. And stay on the path toward your goal. Don't have all this negativity around you, because I'm telling you, it will eventually, it'll start ripping away at the foundation. And everybody knows what happens when a foundation is weak. The structure begins to crumble. So make sure that your foundation is positive. Make sure that it can structurally hold up all it is that you are trying to accomplish. I know that spoke to somebody. Listen, we're in the first week of September. Let's get it, people. We only have a few months left of 2022, and we have a lot to accomplish in 2023. Let's go. Like, share, subscribe to this podcast. Check me out over on Instagram. Easiest place to connect with me over there at Onyx Queen Media. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.